Welcome to another edition of the Unsexy Podcast, where we talk about all of the unsexy things that go into the finished product. I am Alex Skinner, as always, joined by my brother Aaron Skinner, and today we're talking about something more for education and just so you're all aware of how things work. And it's going to be how social media works. Now, I'm going to stop really quick and just do a little assessment of what I think, do a Jim Gaffigan right here. People are probably saying, hey, we're not stupid. We know how social media works, which maybe you do. But my guess is you don't realize to the extent that social media is controlling you. Like, I know everyone does like the little jokey joke thing of like, ho, it sounds like my phone heard me. Is that not a huge problem? If your phone can actually hear you and knows what you're talking about and then can start serving you exactly what it wants to hear. So this is coming from one of Aaron's recent posts that he did about carbs, which he is playing the game. I don't know if you want to describe how that went, Aaron.
Yeah. So the game is you have to have some sort of like controversial topic. Like controversial, not topic. It is a controversial topic, but a controversial take on your thumbnail that gets people angry, and then they click on it, and then it's actually not what they think. And so mine was about carbs are the enemy. I think it was the title or something like that, or carbs are making you fat or something.
I think it was that. Carbs are making you fat.
Carbs are making you fat. And so the actual point of the video was that's not true. But that's what I believed for years and years and years, and I had it kind of all wrong. The interesting thing about it was one of the first comments I got was, this is a stupid take. It was, what do you say? Like this, I should pull it up, but it's like, this is a dumb take. Nice try, buddy. And then luckily the comment, some other guy replied to that comment like, did you even watch the video? He literally didn't, he was literally saying that's not true. But it's just funny. And then later the guy responded, he's like, I'll be honest, I actually just saw the first 5 seconds and didn't watch the rest of it. It's like I was just in a bad mood, so I just was leaving bad comments on things. I was like, and I think that is where we're at with a lot of people nowadays, is it's like a
safe
place to vent your frustrations with life or whatever it is, not realizing that there's an actual person behind. I mean, I wasn't offended when he put that. I think I immediately responded to it. It was just like, dude, you should probably watch the whole video. I said like the same thing the other guy said, because the guy's like, that's literally not what he says in the video. You should probably watch it. But it's just interesting that it's, even though we're not like the content creators aren't faceless, like we are talking to people with our faces, the commenters are faceless, because 99% of the time it doesn't have like an actual picture of them, and they're not probably themselves creating content. So it's a safe place where they can just go vent some frustration or whatever it is. I think I think even with all of our other posts where we've gotten like negative feedback, I just always respond positively. Usually if it's like a super hateful one, like, thanks for the comment, like whatever, thanks for the engagement, man. But it's annoying. It is annoying, just like how people, I don't know, dude. How often, Alex, are you posting comments on a stranger's video?
Rarely, if at all. And if I ever am doing it, I must have been incredibly intoxicated. So that would have been like years ago. The goal of all social media is to keep you on the platform as long as possible. The longer you're on the platform, the more ads you're going to see. The more ads you see, the more money that platform's going to make. So what does it do? It rewards the content that keeps people there for as long as possible. And what it does is has a short little window whenever you post whatever it is. The amount of engagement, primarily engagement, not even necessarily like likes or like double. It's like, how much time did people watch this video compared to like your average videos, and compared to, they have all the data, all of the videos in our ecosystem, and how many people are actually engaging, as in like talking, leaving comments and going about it. And those are the things that are going to get rewarded. And typically it's going to be that way. And Aaron and I play that game, right? Like we play all right, so we have to do this, like our Iran one, our Bad Bunny one, where you put in a not true title, and then you essentially say the exact opposite of whatever that title was.
Right.
And the problem with that is people only read the title and they are just going to naturally agree with or disagree with that title. And then that engagement happens where they like comment on it. And then more people are going to go and see it. So that's good for us, the content creators. But I think it's bad as a whole for like the entire ecosystem. And so to your question, Aaron, of how often I am commenting on strangers' things, it's almost not at all. And I would imagine a high percentage of people are like you and I, where we are not constantly posting or commenting on people's stuff. We live more in the real world. The reason why I wanted to chat about this today is because it is becoming increasingly more frequent that all humans are spending more and more time on social. I used to teach a class of 18 to 22-year-olds, and I would do the classic, all right, so we're going to see who spends the most time on social media. And like, you start off like, all right, who has like 1 hour a day? That seems like too much to me. But anyways, 1 hour a day, everyone raise their hands. All right, 2 hours a day, maybe you'll lose a few. 3 hours a day, yeah, you're starting to lose a few people, but you're at 1/8 of a person's day at that point. So this is, YouTube technically counts, even though there is like this entertainment platform part of it, but a lot of what we were looking at was Instagrams, TikToks, which are also entertainment platforms that are trying to keep you there for as long as possible. Then you get to 4 hours, 5 hours. The people who always have the most are in like that 8 to 10 hour range. And I know there's going to be people out there who are like, well, that's crazy. But I will tell you this, it is not uncommon. Like what I mean by not uncommon is you're like, that's got to be like 1% of the people. I have a class, total students that I've ever taught, like 150, and there's 10 of them. That's closer to like 7 or 8%. That is a high number. And I bet you a lot of those other kids are lying because it's embarrassing to say that you're on social media. Like, even for me, like, as I said, the YouTube thing, I was like, I actually spend a lot of time watching YouTube. So I'm probably in like the high 2, maybe to 3 hours if you include YouTube there. So I'm almost like just proving the point that someone like me who thinks that they aren't on it as frequently as possible has just realized in his 2-minute long monologue that, in fact, I am on it quite a bit. So my guess would be a lot of other people are using this too. And the reason that it concerns me is if we're having, like, essentially, I saw this Socrates, Plato, one of those guys, where it's like, it talks about intelligence, like highly intelligent people talk about ideas, moderately intelligent people talk about events, and unintelligent people talk about people. And that entertainment side of things is really, you are talking about people. You see that thing Jimmy Kimmel did? Did you see that thing Trump did? Did you see that thing, et cetera, et cetera? And some of these could also be intermingled with events, but it's that people are no longer having the dialogue about things that are going to get better. That is the concern. Not that it's really going to impact my everyday life, but making sure that people are spending less and less of their time talking about those two other things. And, Socrates could be wrong, but are talking about those two other things, people especially, because I don't know how the world, because I'm not a doom and gloom guy, like where it's like, oh, the world is going to hell in a handbasket. Like, we evolve and we change, but like, there's just I've said this before, we just didn't evolve fast enough for the technology that we have right now. And I don't feel like we'll get to a point where we use it properly ever, because we can't evolve near as fast as this other technology. Now you have AIs. Now you have people who are engaging with content that's made by nobody, like literally just like a click of a button, and now it's up there and people are like, oh, this is so stupid. Like, you're talking to some guy in Pakistan, Bangladesh, China, or someone just like down in their basement who created these AI agents who are now creating content. Like, who are you even engaging with anymore? End of rant.
Well, I think that's one of the things you and I have talked about a lot is the way that things seem to be going. And especially as like content creators, you probably see this a lot too, Alex. Like, I get inundated with create videos just using AI. This is the new way to do it. And I can't stand that, because we're going to get to a point where you can't even tell. And I think maybe we are at a point where sometimes you can't tell that it's just
Absolutely.
a completely generated AI person that's doing it. There was a chick that actually I don't know if it was a girl or not that started the channel, but it was a girl avatar where it's like a pretend podcast where and of course she's super hot, of course, like because you have to have a super hot girl to do this. And it was like essentially the platform was like her having fake podcast conversations. So it was like all the videos are her like this talking, and but it doesn't show her talking to anyone, but it's like having a, whatever
Somebody's talking
controversial
back.
take on whatever. And hundreds of thousands of views on for all of the videos. And it's not a real person. It's literally just probably an AI script that's written out, and then an AI bot that is, or avatar that's performing the actual visuals. And then you have an AI voice that sounds super real nowadays, where that's all it is. And so, to your point, like, if people are mad about whatever that thing is talking about, you're getting mad at something, at an imaginary thing. And it's just,
Right.
I see the value in social media because, you can get cool recipes, you can get cool ideas, you can build a business. I think the thing that's most annoying for me is like the effort that you and I have put into building like Unsexy Businessmen, and like all of the videos we've made and all the stuff we've done for it is being like usurped by someone who spends 30 seconds on AI, and they just get it all done. And then those are the ones that are really popular.
And
Is
they're
that
not even
getting
in our
frustrating?
niche, like not even
Not
in
at
our
all.
niche.
No,
Like, so like, it's not a like, oh, we hate the competition thing. It's the
no.
eyeballs are being taken by, and I can already think of like everybody, they're going to be like, well, I don't know. It's just like what's there. Like you get fed what you like. You just get fed the same thing over and over and over again. As long as it keeps you there, as long as it keeps you there, and maybe there's like a more of an entertainment aspect to the stuff that you're describing, Aaron. But I have
Yeah.
to do a lot of this. Like I think I've talked about this before. Like my thing is the LeBron versus Michael Jordan stuff would pop up all the time in my social. Like, oh, Michael Jordan had this, but LeBron had this, because I wouldn't. This is the crazy thing. I wouldn't like it. I wouldn't comment on it. I would just click read more to see what the entire image was. And then I just kept feeding that. Why? Because I clicked see more, and I would stay on that piece reading it for 10, 15, 20 seconds, however long it took me to read that. And it kept me on the platform. So something that I've had to start doing proactively is when I'm like, oh, I've been caught in a honeypot. There is a thing in the top right corner. You click the options. You can do show less or stop showing me from this creator. What I've found is it's better just to do the stop showing from the creator, because whenever I do the like stop showing less content like this, they still show me that content.
Right.
And then I fall back into the honeypot. So essentially,
Like,
it's anytime I see it, I was like,
sure
"Man,"
you don't want to watch this?
I was like, yeah, you want to know what? I think my opinion has changed based on the assist and player efficiency rating numbers that have been added here, and the incorrect data. That's another thing that's huge too. Not to like pivot too much, is like types of content that perform really well, inaccurate claims. I've seen this a lot with those specific ones that I'm talking about, where we'll be like, oh, this is the only person to ever win 3 championships. They're like, and then people going like, you're so fucking stupid. This person won 4 championships. This person won 5. This person won 6. And that
Right.
person's just going, thank you for
Yes.
giving this content. So it's not just entertaining stuff. It's whatever is going to get you to engage with it. And I just, every single time, like there's this one called, it's a Salt Lake. It doesn't matter what it's called, but all it does is create fun AI videos about Utah. And I got tricked the very first time. Like, oh my gosh, that is so cool that little sheep helped the frog cross the road. I don't remember what it was, but anyways, like this is what we're dealing with. And then I finally went, oh, that's fake. And I had to stop following it, because you see these people who are like engaging with me, like, this is so awesome. Like, it's so cool. All of these uplifting stories, people would send it to me.
Yeah,
And you go, man,
probably get shared. Yeah.
yeah, I was like, these are people that I respect. And I got fooled by it too, right? I didn't share it or comment on it, but I watched it. So maybe we'll get to a point where we're like better at analyzing this, but I just don't think that's coming. And Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, they're not incentivized to have like AI checkers on there. YouTube is doing something with that right now. Google is doing something with that right now, but I have not. I don't think we're going to see a time where Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok start doing it unless they start seeing engagement go down.
I think that's the most dangerous part. The most dangerous part is like the fake information. And you're just like, well, it's on this, so it must. I know it sounds stupid. Like everyone's like, yeah, don't believe social media. But I think
But we
something.
do.
But the problem is like, I fell for it one time. What was it? I'm trying to remember it. Like, it was something that you and I had talked about, and then I talked about it with our brothers. What was it? The Mark Hughes thing?
Oh yeah,
Like Mark
Mark
that
Hughes
Mark Hughes
owned
that he was
Dare,
part
the
of
Dare program.
that Dare was an MLM, and which I'm like, I mean, the reason I know why I got fed all this stuff because I've been watching some
I
like
hate MLMs.
I don't like MLMs that have been watching some of those like people that were talking about that. But it was like something where Mark Hughes, who probably nobody knows except for us, was the founder of Herbalife. And our dad was involved with Herbalife. And so one of the stories that I just believed was like, oh, that the Dare program was an MLM, and Mark Hughes, and like the evidence was Mark Hughes was like on the board of directors or something like that. And I was like, oh, that's crazy. I was like, that's insane. Oh man. And instead of like researching it and like finding out if it was true or not, it fit my narrative of how much I don't like MLMs or whatever. And I told Alex, and I was like, this is crazy. And then we were talking to our brothers, and then I think Nick looked it up. He's like, I don't think this is true. I was like, oh my gosh,
I've been telling so many people about
I've been
this.
telling so many people about this, and I'm so stupid. Like, yes, I guess I learn from my mistake. I mean, luckily it was a very innocuous thing. I wasn't like telling people that, vaccines are bad or whatever, but it's like, it's just one of those things like always double check. Always double check. I did the same thing because on the last episode, we're talking about using AI for fitness stuff, and which we both do. But I will still double check numbers just to make sure, like, is that the right amount of calories? Is that the right amount of protein? Is it like, I always double check now. And ever since, I'm glad it was something as small as that I had to learn from, that now just because you see it and it fits what you already believe, you should still double check before you just start spreading the rumor. Like, I don't know. I think and I think the other thing too is like, we have kids. And our kids, like you and I, Alex, didn't grow up with social media, but our kids are grown up with social media, and the AI is just going to get better and better and better, and like how that's going to affect our kids and the information that they're getting, and like teaching them, hey, you still need to verify all of the things you think you're learning to make sure it's true. Too, we could just get into this would be another podcast, just how horrible social media is for kids in general. I'm in the camp of where we're not going to let our kids, and I think most of my friends are the same way, like no social media until you're 18. And they can bitch about it and be mad about it. And they'll be, well, my friends are on TikTok or whatever. I'm like, my thing is, I was like, you can hate me now. You'll thank me when you're older, when you realize just how horrible social media
And a waste
really
of time
is.
it is.
Yes, giant waste of time.
Man, I wasn't even thinking about the kid aspect of this, because you start going into like the really, really dark, scary things of like kids killing themselves over fake things or false claims that are made about them. Obviously, this is more, what we've been more talking about is like fake posts, sensationalized things, but you can also start seeing people start creating fake stuff about your kids, about other people. And I think that's the thing that sucks about humans in general, is every single good technology we bastardize.
Yeah.
Honestly, how we do it is every single like new technology is like, how can we make this work for sex? And how can I make money off of this? And how can I hurt other people to help myself? Usually goes in that, maybe money first, then sex, but it's always like, how can we, that's why the joke's always like, oh, sex bots. As like we're talking about AI, or like there's already a movie called Her, way before we actually had advanced AI, right? Anyways, I digress. But not, this comes back to like something that we talked about. Like, I also like don't know like how to fix that, because we're talking about 8 billion people in the world. And I would say not that most people are dumb. That's like not the right way of framing this. It's just like most people don't have the time or don't care. Most people have like really crappy lives, or not most people. People are going through crappy times, and they just don't want to spend the time educating and getting better at it, like myself included. There's times where I have not been as great at this, and I'm trying to think of how we even resolve it, because I think a good indicator that something is bad is when the person who has created it doesn't allow their children to use it. So I was just talking with someone who talked about someone who worked at Deseret News, and they wouldn't let their kids watch TV. A person who is very much in the television industry, because they know exactly how it is. If you watch the social media documentary on Netflix, forget what it's called off the top of my head, social media something. But anyways, like all the people who like invented the social media stuff, they try not to use it and they keep their kids away from using it because they know how terrible it is for kids. Probably something similar with cigarettes. I don't know. I could go look back at cigarettes. Maybe people who are producing cigarettes were giving them to their kids. I don't know. That was way before my time. But if you see the person who's producing it doesn't want to use it as frequently, or doesn't want other people that they're close with to use it frequently, usually a red flag. And then also, I think it's more of just getting back to that thing I was talking about with the Socrates example, where it's like, just like talk about these things with people in real life, and not from like a super combative thing, like, because you're talking about events a lot of the time. Because like I'm thinking about someone very specific right now who doesn't listen to the podcast, but a friend of mine's mother-in-law. And like every single time that I'm around them, which is not very frequently, it's always like the mother-in-law is like, Trump did this, or like the Democrats did this. Did you know that Nancy Pelosi's part of a pizza drug ring, or sex trafficking ring? Yada yada yada. Which I always go back to: how does that impact you? Like, first, I guess it should be like, first, is that even real? And
Right.
then two, how does it impact you? But in reality, I always just do the how does it impact you, even if it is real. Not at all. Doesn't change your life one bit. But like that's the type of person that we're dealing with. And I'm like, can we just like, I don't every now and then I wish we could just like turn off the internet. Like, because I feel like it's gotten to a point, or not gotten to a point. I feel like it's been like this since internet speeds have like improved, where
Right.
it's just everyone thinks they know everything, myself included. Like I try to say I don't know much more now than I did in the past, because like
Mhm.
I don't have time to know. I'm not an encyclopedia, right? But I almost wish we could just like turn off the internet, and like we get internet on Saturdays. I don't know, like
Yeah.
something where it's
Yeah.
just like, all right,
Well,
we're gonna have to start rationing ourselves on this.
the interesting thing about that is like one of the best vacations I went on was a place where we didn't have like, I mean, there's the internet, but like I was just like, I'm turning my phone off. Like we'll turn it on when we get back, because we weren't with our kids, so we needed to have access to if something was going on. But it was like so freeing of it's. I mean, I think smartphones and social media are very synonymous, and so what's the first thing you do when you're bored? Boom, you start looking at your phone. I just watched this video that came up. I think it was on Reddit. It was about like how long the lines were to get into the Delta Lounge. Every single person in the that was waiting that line was just this. Every single person. And so it's like we're so, I mean, again, probably another podcast, but we're so addicted to our phones, me included. I mean, I'm not saying I can't believe people were looking at their phones while they're waiting in line. Like that was me at Disneyland. But it's usually like, all right, what's the next fast pass I need to do or whatever. Instead of being engaged in what was actually happening, I a lot of times I have to tell myself that I was like, put the phone in the pocket or whatever. The one rule that I do stick to is if I'm having dinner with somebody or I'm with friends doing something, my phone does not come out of my pocket. And it can be an issue sometimes because I've had times where someone's trying to get a hold of me or, it's usually through like a text. If my phone starts ringing, I'll look at it. But if it's like a text message or something like that, and I don't respond for, the amount of time that I'm with
They're there.
friends or with family. But I think that's a good way to do it. Like stay engaged. Dude, there's nothing, you and I have talked about this a lot. There's nothing more frustrating than when you're going out with somebody and they're just looking at their phone the whole time. Like, dude, we're having lunch together. Put your fucking phone away. Like I'm here with you right now. Let's live in the now. Let's all talk. Let's have a good time. And then I think those are the people that are most frustrating to me. That is they have to be on their phone constantly, even when you're trying to have like an intimate like conversation or moment with them. And by intimate, I just mean a one-on-one, or you're all together trying to have a communal meal together. But I think that's the only thing that I'm, to toot my own horn, I'm pretty good at, is if I'm having a conversation with somebody in really any capacity, my phone is just in my pocket because I don't want that distraction. And I wish everyone would do that because it is really frustrating when they don't.
Yeah, I used to have like try to do no phone Sundays, and then like
Hmm.
it's really like I have to like looking back on it, like nothing bad ever happened. Like essentially Monday morning, you'd have like the text that came in from people who were trying to reach you on Sunday. Maybe they like wanted to do something, so I missed out on something. But I'm like, it's all good. I need to
Yeah,
start doing that again because I do. Maybe it's not even Sunday. Maybe it's just like every single day, like a specific time. Like I've thought about this a lot. I'm like, sometimes I feel like I was born for like I love the technology we have because obviously like booking trips way easier.
yeah,
Getting reservations at restaurants way easier. Maps, being able to navigate to places way easier. So I shouldn't like I'm very grateful for like the amount of time saved because we have this technology. But like, I wonder if I would have been so much better if like I was just like one of those 9 to 5 people who like the only time you can reach me is if you send a memo to me at work or you call me on my work phone. Because good Lord, you can get, and I would say for the most part, my clients are really great at avoiding non-work hours, like to reach out to you. But like sometimes like they think that they have an emergency and it'll be a Saturday. They think they have an emergency and it'll be like 7 p.m., 6 p.m. That's very rare, very, very rare. But like that would never happen prior to me having a smartphone. Just like
sure,
can't get me.
sure.
Don't know what
Well,
to tell you.
it's also because we grew up in like the 90s or whatever. Like it's the nostalgia thing that we talk about with our kids, where it's just like, they're like, how would you? I just remember my daughter one time was like, how would you like meet up with your friends if you don't have like cell phones? I was like, we would say, hey, we're going to the movies. We're going to be there at 7. And then people would show up there at 7 or whatever it was. Like you made plans ahead of time and everyone kind of just
Stuck
showed
to the
up.
schedule.
And it was like a lot more, I don't know, this is going to turn into like nowadays sucks. Like, listen, I love the technology. I love all this, the ease of, like you said, being able to book trips and do all this stuff is fantastic. But there is sometimes, and it's usually whenever we like go back home and we're just like walking around outside. So we didn't grow up rich at all, but we grew up on like a decent sized piece of property. And I just remember going outside and playing, like just going outside and playing. And that was our entertainment. Like,
Imagination too. Like it's not like
yeah,
we had a lot of toys to play with, maybe like the trampoline, but I remember
yeah,
doing a lot of like just like exploring around the property and like pretending like I'm fighting people,
yeah,
jumping on fallen trees, felled
yeah.
trees, whatever the word is.
Felt's trees. No.
Felden. Um, and like I do feel like that is, and it's so sad. Like whenever I see Teddy doing it, my son, nobody come
Mhm.
after him. Um, I'm just like, oh, that should be happening way more frequently than it is.
Yeah, yeah. And like, I mean, God, there's so many lanes we could go down with this. With
I
like
know, like
just
social media. Like, I know that we're getting off like the social media train, but it is like the technology is meant to. So like with cell phones too, it's just like please buy our phone. It's the fastest. It takes the best pictures so that you can remember every single moment of your life. And it allows you to have the social medias right here in your pocket
but
immediately.
like, haven't we got to the point where like phones are fine? I get it. We're gonna get off like, do we really need anything? Excuse me. Do we need like what giant innovation is really happening with all these new phones? Sorry. Where like I haven't gotten a new phone in, I don't know, 3 years.
Three,
That's more laziness that I don't want to have to like go re-log into everything.
yeah.
But or figure out the new way that you have to find things on your phone or whatever it is.
We only do it
But
whenever the free phone is offered. That's the only
I've
time
had
we get a new one.
dude, Verizon keeps letting me know I have a free phone available, and I'm just like, I'm fine.
Mm.
I don't need a free phone. Like, again, what is this massive leap in technology that I need a new phone for? I was gonna make another point too, but because we could talk about this for hours and just complain about it. Oh, but I did. Okay, so one thing that you can do to game the system that I like to do, because we're out there, like you said, Alex, we're always joking about, our phones are always listening to us. So when I want to buy something, I'll like, man, I wish I could get a discount for whatever thing I'm looking for. And crazy enough, It's happened multiple times. All of a sudden, I get an email of this promotion that's happening where I can get 25% off of the thing that I wanted to buy anyway. So I do, I try and game the system that way. Now that I've said it, there's just like, don't send him emails. But
They don't care. There's
it's
a
actually,
reason that they, yeah.
it's actually worked multiple times where I've done that. It's kind of crazy, but that is one way that you can kind of game the system. If you're already in the market to buying something, start talking about it, and then start talking about if you could get some sort of discount, you would definitely buy that product. And then lo and behold, it doesn't happen every time, but it's happened multiple times where lo and behold, I will get an email with some sort of promotional offer, and works out great.
I saw this guy post on LinkedIn that that's not true. Like, it's not true that your phones are listening to you. And then that's like his headline. And everyone's, of course, now everyone's going to start reading it because it's just like, we've thought that this is true the entire time. And like he goes into, he's like, yeah, if you turn off your security settings, like most people don't do that. Most people, when they're going through adding an app, they just say, yes, 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 you can have access. Yes, you can have access. Yes, you can have access. So yes, there is a way that you can go in and turn all of these things off so that it isn't recording you at all. But most people are too lazy and they just say yes to every single thing so they can get to the point, like get to it. So I hated his his thing where it's just like, it's not listening. You're like, yes, it is, because everyone's saying is giving consent to the apps to listen to them. Yeah, gosh, I thought it was such a disservice. Like, it's just another tying it all back together. Yeah, it got people to engage with it, but like, I'm just like, it's a disservice because all people are going to read is that first line, say your phone's not listening to you, and be like, oh, well, this guy's like really, really smart. It's on LinkedIn. This guy's like in the industry. Like, this guy's all right, so I don't have to worry about this anymore. No, read the entire thing. You do need to worry about it. You do need to worry about it.
It's just like my Mark Hughes thing. Like, you read like the headline or whatever, like, oh, it's true, I'm going to start telling everyone this. Everybody. Like, dude, no, there's a guy who's in the tech industry who said that that's not how that works. And so, oh, really? What did he say? I don't know. I just read the headline, but it's not true. They're not listening to you. And then that gets spread, and good old misinformation.
Yeah. I mean, and I don't know if I have like a real wrap up for this one, except anyone who does listen to this, like, this is like another one of those, like, we all, myself included, we all just like need to get better at this because we are not equipped to handle this. And so a lot, like Aaron mentioned, we didn't grow up with these things. And now we're having a new generation that is native, growing up on these platforms, native with the internet. I see it with my son where I'm just like, oh, you know what? If I wanted to watch a video, I had to rewind it either in the actual VCR or in our fast rewinder. The fast rewinder would take like less than a minute. Like, it was pretty fast, maybe 2 minutes, but I still had to wait 2 minutes before I could watch one thing. And then when I'm watching like YouTube with my son, he's like, can I watch Raw Fear by 21 Pilots? Boom. 1 second. You got it. Halfway through the song. Hey, can we listen to Drag Path? Boom. There you go. There's that song for you. Even like cassette tapes, like if we want to, since he's listening to music in this example, like we don't have to wait for anything anymore. And that is the cause of all anger and frustration in the world right now is I want it and I want it now. I want Iran to be over now. I want Iran to be destroyed now, like whatever side of the thing on. I want Bad Bunny to be canceled now. I want the NFL to be over now because I'm mad at it. Like, I want all of these things right away. Anyways.
Well, it's like that joke. I can't remember who did the joke of the internet on the airplane, and like like we didn't have it for years, and then we get it, and then people are like, I can't believe how slow the internet is on the airplane. This is insane. Like, we just got it. What are you talking about? Like,
we're in a tube in the air.
Like, it's so crazy. I just want to real quick, when you were mentioning what it was like growing up, none of the if we wanted to watch something like a movie on TV, you had to wait until that movie was on. You didn't get to like I want to watch it now. We like, all right, what time is it on? You had to kind of plan your day around that. And so
open the TV guide.
Yes, exactly. You'd have to figure out what it's actually going to be on. And then you had to take your bathroom breaks were during commercials. It was just, I would say simpler times, but I guess not simpler, but maybe more nostalgic times.
Well, we're like not any more intelligent now. Like, you would think that all of this technology and things that we have would make us like incredibly informed, but because there is so much more misinformation that you have to wade through, it actually slows down the process.
Yeah.
We miss I miss not that I ever like, I miss the Tom Brokaws. I did listen to Tom Brokaw. Like, I miss where it's just like, oh, you can just trust this person.
Yeah.
because
There was
all
a
they're doing
giant
is like
bias.
their goal is not like we need you to keep coming back. Their goal is like we're the only one that has the information that you should have. And now I like say what you will about Fox News, CNN, like whatever way that you lean. I'm just like nobody's even like trying to hide it anymore.
No.
Like it's just like, oh, okay, this is like we just need to keep our base coming back over and over and over again so we can keep selling ad space and making money off of Life Alert
Billions of
commercials.
dollars. Yeah. Yep. That's
Need
exactly
insurance?
right. Yeah.
Need insurance at the age of 75? Yeah, good luck getting that insurance. That's ripping you off, people. Don't go buy it. Anyways, well, thank you everyone for listening, and I think I'm optimistic. I think I always feel like the world swings on a pendulum, and it does feel over like, especially like with I think the AI thing is just making that pendulum swing a lot faster. It does feel like there is a lot of people who are looking to swing back to a little bit of status quo, and I just hope that my feelings are not incorrect and that is in fact the case. But just be smarter. Just don't engage with the content.
We need to change this this podcast to Aaron and Alex complain about things.
Aaron and Alex, like the podcast. This one would be, we hate technology but secretly love it.
Yeah. How technology is ruining your life.
Well, everyone have a wonderful rest of the week and just do a little bit better, and we'll catch you next week. Thank you for listening to the Unsexy Businessmen. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a review. Now go get to work.